Good morning, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm Harikeshan and I'm here to give the introduction on our presentation on grey water recycling system for small-scale domestic use. Here's the table of content as you can see. Let's come back to it later. Let's start simple by defining what is grey water. Grey water is relatively clean water released from our showers, sinks, washing machines, and etc. Not to be confused with black water. Black water is released from our toilets and kitchen sinks. The pathogen level and pollutant level in black water is relatively high compared to grey water. This makes recycling grey water much more easier compared to black water. This is why in most developed countries, grey water is recycled and reused in instances like landscaping and toilet flushing. With proper recycling tools, grey water can be used in many more instances. So what is the problem here? Let's start simple by mentioning the numbers. About 50 to 80% of household water is released in the form of grey water, according to a recent study conducted by IESL Sri Lanka. All this water is potent enough to be recycled and reused. As a developing country fighting against climate and urbanization related problems, this number is huge. All this water can be recycled efficiently while being economically viable. Let's address the importance of recycling grey water. Water conservation, pollution reduction, resource footprint reduction, enhancing water supply infrastructures, cost savings, and sustainable urbanization. Now, I would like to pass on the opportunity to Kumar Singh to present the upcoming slides. Thank you.
Importance of reusing grey water. So when we come to this topic, we can clearly see some significant advantages of reusing grey water. The first one, water conservation and reduce the resource footprint. As we all know, freshwater supplies are very limited in our world. So we have to use them with a huge responsibility. So this method, this concept, is reusing grey water concept build that responsibility. So this is the main advantage of reusing grey water. And secondly, we can clearly see this reusing grey water concept as an economical concept because we can clearly save up a huge amount of money by decreasing our water base. And also we can reduce the pollution of water bodies and environment. And we can practice good sustainable practice. And that is a good sign for a safe future. However, where grey water is currently being reused. According to this table, you can clearly see so there are many nations are trying to reuse this grey water system. Uh, According to the table, you can clearly see India, our nearest neighbor. India using this grey water for landscaping and gardening and toilet flushing, and even as a coolant, as they do so many industrial work. As we all know, India faces so many climatic challenges. So this recycling grey water thing is a huge advantage and huge concept, a valuable concept for them. And when we come to a country like Maldives, they have very limited supplies of natural water, so they use this grey water for landscaping and so many other activities. And we come to a country like Nepal. They clearly use grey water for gardening and outdoor activities. And even in Pakistan, they use this as a coolant because Pakistanians and they do so many industrial work. So these are the methods, and this is the how they use grey water recycling in this world. So we can clearly see the importance of reusing grey water.
I'm going to talk about the project goal and what happens if we don't reuse grey water. So, what is our project goal? The main goal of our project is to promote the low-cost grey water recycling systems for small-scale domestic use. By reusing grey water, we aim to reduce the demand for fresh water, lower household water bills, minimize the amount of wastewater going into drains, and contribute to environmental protection by reducing pollution. And also bigger goals like urban resilience, especially in cities facing water stress and climate change. Now, let's look and see what happens when we don't reuse grey water. First one is depletion of freshwater bodies. Freshwater comes from rivers, lakes, and underground water. This is the water we use our day-to-day life. When we are using it too much, these natural sources start to dry up. Next one is receiving high water bills. We use clean water for everything, like toilet flushing, watering plants. This increases water usage unnecessarily. Those stars don't need perfect clean water. We can use purified grey water. Otherwise, our water bills will increase. So, by ignoring grey water reuse, we are not just wasting water. We are also spending more money than we need to. Another problem is environmental degradation. When grey water is not reused, it goes directly into the sewage system. If these systems get overloaded, dirty water can leak into rivers, lakes, and flood roads. It causes water pollution and health risk. On that, plants and animals that depend on this water begins to suffer. Next one is poor resilience to drought and climate change. As the climate changes, drought, water shortages may occur. If we don't reuse grey water and rely fully on fresh water, we won't be able to properly cope with drought. As I said before, if we don't reuse grey water, we also risk failing our sustainability goals. So, grey water use isn't just a small solution. It's part of achieving global sustainability goals.
Now let's look at how can this solution scale up for urban resilience. First, it helps reduce the demand for potable water, which is especially important during droughts or water shortage. It also support integrated water management, allowing cities to manage different types of water more efficiently. Another benefit is lowering environmental pollution since less grey water enters the sewage system or pollute natural water bodies. With proper policy and initial support, this solution can be expanded to school, building and public space and help us achieve sustainable development goals, especially in water conservation and climate action. Finally, it brings reduced water bills for users and treatment costs for cities. Although these factors how Although these factors show how greywater reuse can grow from small scale to citywide use. Greywater recycling doesn't just solve local water problems, it supports directly to several sustainable development goals. Today, I will show how it supports 6 SDG, 11 SDG, and 12 SDG. SDG 6 is about ensuring access to clean water and sanitation for all. Greywater recycling support is by providing an alternative water sources, reducing demand on freshwater supplies, making water available for toilets, cleaning and irrigation even during droughts, and reducing pollution by treating water before reuse, lowering contamination on rivers and groundwater. SDG 11. It focuses on making cities safe, resilient, and sustainable. Some of the effects are reduce pressure in urban water system, which can lower treatment loads by between 25 to 35%, supporting cities delay costly water plant expansion by up to 10 years. SDG 12. Greywater recycling also advanced SDG 12, which is about providing sustainable consumption and production. Everyday general householders and businesses use large amount of potable water for non-drinking purposes like flushing, cleaning, and irrigation. By this system, we can reuse potable water use by 30 to 50%. so we can ensure that our clean water resource will be used more responsibly and considerately. Thank you.
I would like to talk about stakeholders. There are several key stakeholders involved in the operation of greywater recycling system. First and foremost are the users, homeowners, and building owners who install and maintain the system for their personal needs. They benefit by reducing water consumption, lowering utility cost, and minimizing negative environmental impacts. Additionally, professionals such as engineers, technicians, and plumbers play a crucial role in properly designing and installing the system. Another significant group of stakeholders includes government authorities and regulatory bodies. They provide health and safety standards, legal framework, and guidelines to ensure the safe and lawful operation of these systems. Environmental organizations and NGOs also have an important influence as they raise public awareness, provide educational programs, and sometimes offer financial assistance. Lastly, companies that manufacture greywater recycling systems, filters, and related technologies are stakeholders as well. Their innovation and technical contribution help make these systems more efficient, reliable, and user friendly. Identified impacts according to people, environment, economy. Stakeholders, social impact, environmental impact, economical impact. Residents, access to affordable water improved hygiene and awareness. Reduce water wastage and lower strain on freshwater resources. Saving on water bills and maintenance. Multiple authorities, less demand on centralized water distribution system, decrease sewage discharge and pollution levels, reduce infrastructure and treatment costs, agriculture users, reliable irrigation source even in dry period, conserve nature by being less dependent on nature resources, reduce irrigational costs, technical facilities, job creation, promotion of easy of friendly technologies, new business opportunities. Thank you.
Now, I would like to talk about the benefits to stakeholders due to an effective greywater solution. Unlike the impacts, benefits provide a precise information with resources and evidence for these facts. The first stakeholders are the residents, and the benefits they face are they can save up to 30 to 50% in municipal water use by reusing greywater. They also have the ability to save 40 to 70 liters of potable water per person per day. And also, another stakeholders are the municipal authorities. The municipal authorities can delay water infrastructure expansion by 5 to 10 years due to reduced peak demand, which is in result caused by using greywater resources. The second benefit they face is greywater system can lower municipal treatment load up to 25 to 35%, saving operational cost. Since the amount of water, the net amount of water used has been reduced, the amount of drainage released, the amount of wastewater released would also be reduced, which means the infrastructure which is used to control them and also divert them and manage them has been reduced. Now, the next stakeholders are the agricultural users. In other words, farmers. Farmers can reduce irrigation water costs by 20 to 50%, improving farm profitability. The recycled greywater could supply 10,000 liters per day for small farms, especially helpful at dry seasons. The technical facilitators are also another type of stakeholders who will see a huge improvement in their net income and also growth in the sector of technical facilitation. They can increase up to 10 to 50% according to the sources, which means more opportunities, more jobs, and more helpful for the people.